Bonjour, this is Joe from Bullrush Studios coming at you for this week's devlog. I'm sorry about last week. I recently had my gallbladder removed in what was an emergency surgery. It was a rough few days in the ER and stuff, so it's been a few weeks now. Doing pretty good. I think I'm probably ahead of where I wanted to be as far as content goes. It isn't too exciting, I don't think. It's mostly just modeling and rigging. I used the cube extrusion method of modeling, which is where you work with a single cube and you extrude it until you get the shape that you want. Some tips there is that your reference images need to be top notch, and you should always try to have clean geometry because those edge loops are going to matter a lot. Even though you try triangulating for the game, you still want them clean, because a clean box is going to be two triangles, and it's probably going to break. And from what I've seen is that if you have like a really dirty quad, it'll just make a ton of triangles. Like, you want as few triangles as possible for optimization. Later on in the vid, I work on rigging my models. That's basically attaching bones to the models. Typically, you see like joints of the round parts. You want a few edge loops around those parts because it softens the bend. If you think like of a piece of paper, and if you make like a really hard crease, you have basically 3 points. You have the one end, the other end, and the end in the middle. But if you don't make a hard crease, you'll have like a ton of little lines if the paper has lines on it where the bend occurs. I'm ultimately making low poly art because my goal is to make this game as playable on as many devices as possible. I mean, as a single person studio, I'm not going to be able to compete with the big wigs, but I can make something that anyone can play. And that's the whole point, right? I mean, video games are meant to be played by everyone, enjoyed by everyone, you know? So, that's it for this week.